It's time for another plant massacre. Hello everyone, welcome to another planty video. It is me, Desiree, and today we have 3 more plants that I'm giving the old chop to. One I really don't want to chop it, but it's time. One here that's just very overgrown, it's touching the floor, so I gotta give it a little bit of a groom. And then one here, I'm chopping up the whole thing. So let's start with the one that's not gonna be so difficult. It's this one here, my beautiful succulent with its way overgrown flower stalk. So I think this is an aeonium, at least a few of you guys have told me this is an aeonium. I like this, I think it's very cool. Honestly, I only bought this because it was on clearance and it had a very cool pot. I didn't intend to keep the plant, but the plant kept going and is doing really well. I mean, it's a little stocky, but you know what, it's doing fine. But it put out this beautiful flower bloom. And I've never seen a succulent bloom like this before. It puts out this big old long vine and then all of these separate vines of flowers. So this had, let's see, 3 vines of flowers, and it's still going. Like, there's still new ones popping up here every day. They're so cute. They're just like the cutest little pink, and they open up. They're so precious. So I kept this going as long as possible, but it's very tired. Like, all the blooms here are dead. And this stalk is very heavy and it tips over the plant all the time. Because the succulent likes to be dry, the pot's always going to be really light. And this, it just keeps tipping over. I have to lean it against the window. And it's kind of like bending here. So it's just time for this baby to go. And now that I'm cutting this off, it's probably going to pump out a new leaf. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, I did it. I mean, I guess I could have cut this a long time ago and put it in some water maybe. But it's cute, isn't it? I don't know. Sad to see it go, but it was kind of cool because I've never seen a succulent, at least one I've had, do anything like this before. So thank you for your service. I loved you very much. And it was so cute to see these flowers every day. They were so beautiful. Oh, it looks funny now. Just all bare, but you know what? I like this one. I hope this one keeps going. It's really cool. I think this is like my only succulent like this is actually still alive. All the other ones just like exploded for some reason. Okay, the next one we gotta give a little chop to is my Cebu Blue Pothos. I love this baby. This is one of my absolute favorite plants. It's just gorgeous and it grows and grows and grows. It grows all around the pot. You know, sometimes plants only grow like at the front and the whole backside is bare. I have probably 10 of those around my house. This one does fill out the whole pot, which is really cool. But the vines, I mean, it's just so full and beautiful. But the vines are really long. I have this on an end table or like a side table in the living room. And these vines are on the ground. Like they're literally just on the ground. And they're kind of, you know, they don't have a lot of leaves on them. But the Cebu Blue, it does grow like this. Like there's usually a lot of space between each leaf. So the fuller the plant, the less you see all the vine. But these long vines, they've got to go. I'm gonna cut them like maybe here. And then I'll just put all of this. That's a lot. Do I want to cut that much? Hold on, I changed my mind. It looked like a good idea at the time. Like if I just gather all of these up, like that looks like a good plant, like a good bushy, full looking plant. But then I'm cutting all of this off. This truly is a massacre. I thought I was just gonna cut off like these little tiny pieces. But you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And I'm going to put them in water and I'm going to make, or once they root, a little thing here so I can have some of this plant hanging down. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. That's so much. You know what? It needs to be done. It needs to be done. So let's start with, I'm going to try to segregate each vine here. Oh, look, there's a couple of dead ones. Like hanging on for dear life. There's a dead leaf. We'll do a little grooming since we're here. Throw that out. Okay. Well, it's very tangled. I'm gonna cut this one. I did it. I did it. I mean, that's cute. that's gonna look cute hanging back there. I didn't bring any water in for this because I didn't think I was gonna cut this much off, but I'll go grab one real quick. Okay, let's cut this one. I'm not really paying attention to where I'm cutting it right now, but I'll make sure that the little node parts are in the water. So kind of the same, I mean, a lot of these vining plants, a lot of these aeroids have the same exact kind of propagation method when it comes to water, at least. I'm a big water propagator, nothing else really works for me. But these little tiny bumps right here, right below the leaf, or sometimes right next to the vine on the leaf, this little tiny bump here is where a root is gonna grow. So make sure that part is in the water. And I'll make sure of that when I put these in water. Let's get another one. Ooh, that's a good one. Look how long that one is. But look how the leaves grow. Like, it's so far. Let's just, that one right there. You know, this is oddly satisfying. I thought this was gonna be, oh, look at this one. This one has no leaves on it. Does this have any leaves on it at all? Let's turn it around. Look at this one. Oh look, there's two right at the end with one growing maybe, but there's literally no leaves on this whole vine. I'm gonna cut out this entire vine. Hold on. Oh, there's a leaf here. How long is this one? I'm gonna cut this one all the way up here. I had to stand up to see this one. Look at this vine. Look at this. There's literally nothing on it. A crusty leaf and then two at the front. I'm gonna cut this one right here. So that way the little node is there with the little root bump, and I'll stick that part in the water. And then this will just go in the garbage. All right, who's next? Who's next? It's just a big tangled mess. Like, look at this big tangled mess right here. I'm not trying to like untangle it because I do like the way that it looks nice and full like that. But some of these just got to go. That's a good one. Well, there's a piece here with nothing on it. Let's cut that stick part off. Garbage. Ooh, that's a good one. Where's this one going? Hold on. This, oh, it was just tangled. I thought it was like a Frankenvine. I'm gonna cut this one. We'll cut right at that weird spot there. That's a good one. Well, this one kind of is a weird vine. That's a weird one. Okay, let's see how it's looking. Looking better, but I gotta cut off a couple more of these long ones. There's also one back here. Just rip that part out. This long piece here. Let's see. Let's just chop right there. Right there. I mean, look at some of this is just vine. I think I'm cutting way more than I wanted to. Okay, I'm gonna grab these pieces right here, and I'm just gonna cut them off right here. Because I think segregating each vine, I'm cutting it too short, and I don't want this plant to be too short. So I'm gonna cut this piece. Let's just do right there. And then this long piece just right there. Okay, let's see now. This is kind of like when you are like tweezing your eyebrows. Every single hair makes a difference. And if you aren't like taking a second to look back, you'll pull one hair and then suddenly have this huge gap. Get off of me. I have this huge gap in your eyebrows, and I feel like that's what I'm doing here. I'm like, I cut one vine too short and suddenly it has a bald spot, you know? But I think that looks good. It's not gonna touch the ground now. It's still a lot tangled here, which I like because it makes it look nice and full, but it looks a lot better. It looks like bushier and fuller and more compact and nice. So this is gonna look good on the table. It's not dragging on the floor anymore. Let's take a few of these dead leaves off. And I have something in my eye. I felt it a second ago. Okay, and now I have all of this to put in water. So let me go grab a big tall glass real quick, or like I'm sure a spaghetti jar. Be right back. Okay, I found another spaghetti jar, but this is gonna be perfect for those long vines that don't have any leaves on them. So what you do, I mean, it does kind of hurt because you got to pull off the bottom leaf, but pull off that bottom leaf because from what I have heard, if the leaf is just always sitting in water, it could rot. So I'm gonna pull off the bottom leaf enough for that. This one's ugly. I don't want this one. Hold on. I also don't like this angle. Why was I so far away? Okay. I don't like the way that looks. I don't know if I even want to keep this one. Hold on. Let's just cut more of that vine off. Okay, one down, a million more to go. And I have seen people propagate in many different ways. Like I watched that Foliage Life. She did a bunch of pothos like one leaf at a time. So you could cut right here and right here on either side of the leaf as long as that little root is there. And as long as that root is buried in like moist soil, it will root in, or you have it in water, it'll root too. But she had them all lined up in a little box and it looked really cool, but I think like, I know if I tried to do that, they would all just rot. I can't tell which side is the top of the vine. No, it's this side, right? Because if it's hanging, what? Okay, am I dumb? Am I dumb? Let's just set that one aside because I think I'm looking very dumb. I think I might be dumb. Why can't I tell? Okay, that's the top. So this is the side I want the roots because I'm gonna pot this. I'm dumb. I think I'm dumb. Okay, if you are at home going, oh my God, what are you doing with your life? I'm not gonna do this on camera. I feel so stupid. Because like even this one, did I put that upside down? Because like this is something I think you probably should think about that I didn't think about. Because if I root the wrong side and the roots grow here and I pot this, then the plant's gonna be growing upside down. You know what I mean? I think I might be dumb. Let's get an easier one. What is wrong with me? If you are at home yelling at your TV, please let me know. But I'm gonna set this aside and figure it out after the video because I'm like, I think I'm dumb. I don't know what is wrong with me. Okay, well anyway, I pulled off all of these. I'm gonna put these in the water the correct way. And yeah, we'll just move on with the next plant because I feel like I'm embarrassing myself, which I'm not usually afraid to do on my plant channel, but this is a little much even for me. Okay, now this plant here I am cutting completely up. This is a silver sword philodendron, and look, there's a whole piece that wasn't even connected. When I was carrying it in here, I was like thinking to myself, why is that part wilted and none of the rest of the plant is? And then it just fell onto the ground. So this part wasn't even connected, but I think I can save it. So this is a silver sword philodendron. I bought this from Monrovia. I found it here locally and I loved it. I was so excited when I saw it because I had never seen one of these in real life that wasn't $1 million for what it was. Brought it home, repotted it, and I didn't love it. I mean, I repotted it in a video and I was like, okay. And I guess this view is okay. I have this in my front window in my front room. So when you're outside, like walking up to the house, this is in the window. And I guess seeing it from here, it doesn't look too bad. But look at the view I get. This is what I see. I see the top of the plant. I see the back of it. I don't get to enjoy this plant that much. And I hate the way that it looks from my view. And I just don't like the way that it's growing. You know, it has these really big, like thick stems. I'm pretty sure this plant is meant to grow up like on something maybe. I'm not a big fan of like doing that kind of stuff. Like I'm never gonna put a moss pole or a big 2x4 in my pots. If you do that and it works for you, that's great, but it's just not for me. I don't know, I just don't like the way it looks. So I'm gonna cut this whole thing up, put it in water, re-root it, and then plant it like in a pot all together, hopefully standing up like this. I don't know if it's gonna work, but we're gonna do it anyway, and I'm gonna chop it all up. So I'm just gonna cut all the way down to like the root area. And this one, same thing, I'm guessing, all of these little bumps here that have like a little root bump coming out of the stem are where the roots are gonna grow. So as long as you have a few of these in water, you should be fine. And I have a piece of this in water right now that broke off when I was repotting this like an animal, and it's doing really well. So I'm just gonna get this straight here and put it in a little vessel of water. There's like a smell when you cut this, not a bad smell, but it's not like cutting these little vines. It smells like you're cutting something outside, like a substantial plant or something. It's just because I think these are just so thick. But yeah, this has a ton of opportunity to root. There are little tiny nodes like all over here. So I think this is gonna be just fine. This is the one I'm most excited about. I hope that it does well. Well, I can't fit it in there, just put it there for now. So there's 2 big pieces here left. Like, look, like I just don't like the way this looks. So this piece is coming out next. Just gonna cut it all the way down to the root. And look at all of those nodes, tons of opportunity for roots. So if all of these end up getting roots, I can pot it and I think it'll stand up perfectly like that. I mean, it's a really pretty plant. It's just has a really ugly growth habit. But I guess a lot of plants do if you don't make them grow the way you want them to, you know? Okay, last piece right here. Ooh, that's a good piece. This one I might have to, oh, look at that. The aerial roots, like roots already started growing out of the stem and into the dirt. I'm gonna cut those off. And I'm gonna take off this bottom leaf here too. I mean, that one, darn, this was like a good piece here, but it's like bent. So how do I do this piece? Is there another way to cut another, can I cut it again? I'll just dunk it in there. Just kind of dunk it. And then this piece here that that was broken off, I'm gonna take off that bottom leaf too and just see if something will happen with it. I mean, it looks okay. Like a lot of the little bumps here are fine and there's a little growth point there. So that should be okay. Just stick it in there too. And I think all of them are touching the water. This looks a million times better just sitting in the water. I think because it looks nice and full and, you know, it's not just full of soil from one side. So this takes a long time to root. The one piece I have sitting in water has been in there for a few months, and I want to say it has like roots this big. Like it'll take a really long time to root. So I'm going to put this back in the spot where it was before, but I'll just keep refilling the water as needed and just kind of keep an eye on it. But I'm not expecting to pot this probably until next year, to be honest, but that's fine. It'll look better like this for now anyway, and then I can repot it the way I want it to go. And I guess that's kind of the good thing about these kind of plants, because once it grows out and looks ugly again, just cut it again, reroot it, and then repot it the way you want it to look. Okay, that is it. That is my houseplant massacre for today. We had this beautiful aeonium that I cut off his gorgeous, gorgeous vine. My Cebu blue, which made a fool out of me because I cannot tell which way is which on these vines. I just didn't think that that was going to be an issue, but I'm kind of confused now and I don't want to do it backwards. I hope you know what I'm talking about. Like, what the heck? No, it has to go this way. This has to be the way. So this should be the way I put it in the water. Okay, let's just try it and see what it looks like. It always hurts to pull off these leaves, but you know, you gotta do it. Okay, so that looks correct. Let's put that in there. Okay, that one looks right. This one I did upside down. I did that one upside down. Oh boy. But anyway, that is it. Let me know some plants you have chopped up recently. I have 2 left, and I think I might do a separate video on each one, because one of these plants is one of my most like precious babies, like one of my crown jewels. but I need to cut it. It is just time. So I think I'm gonna do 2 separate videos on the last 2 plants, but that is it. Let me know some plants you've chopped up recently. I would love to know what they are. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss my next one. And I will see you later in another video.